That's good. Is that good or what? Is that good or what? I can't see. Let's see. Let's see better now. Let me see. I can see better now. Let me see what we have here. Okie dokie. This is the one. What is this over here? This is the one. What is this over here? Yeah, it's still good. That's good. Okay, okay. Okay, okay. Okay, good there. Okay, so we have that there. Okay, so we have that there. Okay, so we have that there. Okay. Let's see. All right, we got 3 people. That's good. Can you guys hear me out there? Can you guys hear me? All right, we got 3 people. That's good. Can you guys hear me out there? Can you guys hear me? We got 3 people. That's good. Can you guys hear me out there? We got 3 spookers. Spookers. They're afraid. They're spookers. We got 3 spookers. We got spookers out there. They don't even want to talk. Don't be afraid. Come on. We like you. We like spookers on this channel. Spookers out there. They don't even want to talk. We want spookers more than anything else. We like you. We like spookers on this channel. Spookers out there. They don't even want to talk. We want spookers more than anything else. We like you. We like spookers. You know it. You guys know it, guys. All right, so we're going to go into the watch market update. Believable, the presents these people gave me, They say that I'm a hard person to get gifts. I'm going to show you what they gave me, These people are unbelievable. Okay. I will do that. Okay, we'll do that too. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back once again to the greatest watch market update show. As you guys know, we are a public service watch announcement channel. We serve the public, people that are lost, they're lost their mind, in this situation of watches, and that Corona beer era, and we're here to help you guys out, guide you guys out, help you guys out, so you guys won't continue getting taken. You guys will not continue getting taken. So don't forget that this is the #1 public service watch announcement channel. We do this with the grace of the el tipo ahí arriba, el flaco, the skinny guy up there. We do it all with him, the grace, for you guys. And so always try to understand what we do for you guys. We ask you for a big favor, and that favor is don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Right now we have supposedly four organic watch channel, but we got one thumbs up, and basically, that's what we ask you guys. Meanwhile, the other channels ask you for your, for your organs, but we only ask you for a thumbs up. You don't have to subscribe to the channel, but help us out with a thumbs up. Help us out. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, we talk in this channel about precious metal materials. That's right. We talk about that always for you guys. We always talk about that, and we want to give you a little rundown, a couple of prices on these precious metals. I've been telling you about precious metal, particular gold, for the last 3 years, and many of you, were very, like, what is this guy talking about? But when I started telling you, it was at the $1,750 a troy ounce. When I started telling you, I'm gonna go in with the rhodium. Rhodium. Rhodium is what they put on, those special Cartier, rings and bracelets and panthers, all that stuff. Wow, panther. They use this, on this ring, like here. This is a Cartier ring, and it has that rhodium all over it, to make it shiny and make it look good. And the price, the troy ounce price of rhodium, this is what they steal, these hoodwinkers and flim-flammers out there, Here in my backyard here in Miami, Florida, they're all over the place, going into parking lots and stealing I think it's called a catalytic converter, under the car. They take it out and they have this much of rhodium, but it's enough to feed their family, for a couple of weeks, and they're stealing that. So the rhodium troy ounce price is at $8,500 and just moving on up, like George Jefferson would say, moving on up, going all the way up. And that's rhodium. Ladies and gentlemen, palladium, we've had a lot of people here that love palladium, To all your palladium fans out there, we were talking about palladium when it was at $1,200 a troy ounce, and that was not too long ago. But today is gonna, blow your hair back and knock your socks off, because palladium today is the year that I was born. The year that I was born, that's the price of that today, is at $1,962 a troy ounce. For you people that don't know about this, so you guys, you get familiar, because, all these people, what they're doing out there, with all these materials, precious materials, they're making ends meet with this. So, instead of them making it, I'm passing it to you guys so you guys can make some pocket change and defend your family members this winter. It's going to be a dark time this winter, of 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, I talked about platinum. I swear to God, I talked about platinum probably, I'm gonna just dare myself to say, a month, 30 days ago. I told you, I even gave you a big rundown on platinum, where platinum is here. Platinum was at $1,300, and then it went to $1,450. And then it went to $1,700, and I made an announcement. I told you guys that platinum is going to go all the way to the moon, all the way to the moon. Platinum is going to go all the way to the moon. And some of you, you were in the corner quiet and didn't want to say too much, But ladies and gentlemen, today, ladies and gentlemen, the troy ounce price of platinum is unbelievable, Bobby. It's unbelievable. Ustedes son un bonche gilipollas. Keep on listening to those people, to those crumb bums. Keep on listening to Deputy Boxing Black Eyes, you know, with his sidekick, Jiminy Cricket, the Chia Pet Spray Can Hand, the baseball cap hair, you know. They're going to be there in Miami Beach in the antique show. You can go over there, see them, you know. Go in line and give them your money. Give your children's tuition money to those crumb bums, sandbags, you know. Son unas gonorreas. Son unas gonorreas completamente, gonorreas. But let me get not started on this. Don't, you know, it's going to go to, you know, the platinum is at $2,478.90. 2478.90, ladies and gentlemen. And ladies and gentlemen, there's a new record out there, new record, and people are already afraid to talk about the record. But I'm not afraid. I'm going to tell you. Ladies and gentlemen, gold, 24 karat gold, 23, 22, 23 and a half, you know, pure gold, ladies and gentlemen. You're not going to believe this, but this is Scouts Honor the Truth. Gold is at 4,000, unbelievable. 500, unbelievable. $4,550 a troy ounce. You know, it's getting out of control. People were saying that gold is going to go back down to $2,000 a couple of weeks ago. They were running their mouth, you know, because these people don't know nothing. You know, you got Michiganers, you know, you got that, you know, that guy, you know, which I call Eugene, and his real name is Jacob McChicken, and the SEC is looking for him. You know who the SEC is, ladies and gentlemen? You take a strong look at this person, Eugene, a.k.a. Jacob McChicken. He's up to no good, you know? Esto es una gonorrea. Este tipo es una gonorrea. You know? Es una gonorrea en la esquina, in the corner of your nail, you know, with yellow-green pus. So you go see him over there, Eugene, and he has an old, dusty-looking Bentley, you know, with he puts hubcaps and, you know, in Overtown. You know what I'm saying? He goes with his Bentley to Overtown to put wheels on, you know, recaps. You know what recaps are? You know, those wheels, recape de goma, you know? But you listen to him and you continue paying him his membership duties every week or every month, whatever you guys pay them, you know? I'm telling you his name, Eugene, a.k.a. Jacob McChicken. And he even changed his name. You know, when he got Jacob McChicken, he had another name, the real birth name. Look into this Michiganer. Don't let this gentleman destroy you. He's walking around the streets, roaming the streets over there in Las Vegas, roaming all over the place and run down apartments. You know, he's just looking for nickels and dimes, you know. Listen, sometime Harvard gets it wrong when they let this pus go into Harvard. That's all I got to tell you. So, ladies and gentlemen, you got gold. And I'm going to tell you now the big one, silver. You know, the white stuff. Silver, Bobby, silver. Silver was at, you know, at $8, you know, $18 a troy ounce, right? $18 to $8 a troy ounce. And ladies and gentlemen, Bobby, you know, I get impressed with Sweet Kid Kino. You know, Kino to me, Joaquin to you. He's unbelievable. And ladies and gentlemen, another record breaker. Silver is at $80.39 a troy ounce. Okay? You understand me? $80.39 a troy ounce, ladies and gentlemen. Just to let you know something, in the year millennium, just so you can, you know, let this sink in your head. In the year 2000, the troy ounce of gold. Does anybody know what was the price of the troy ounce of gold in the year 2000? You know, the millennium, you know, when the computers were going to go crazy, you know, we're going to lose everything. Does anybody know? Okay, don't worry about it. You guys don't know. The troy ounce of gold in the year 2000 was at $250 a troy ounce. Do you guys know what silver was in the year 2000? A troy ounce of silver. Does anybody know? Nobody knows, right? That's fine. It was $4.96 a troy ounce. All right? That's where silver was. And I want to let you guys know about that. And the other thing that I want to let you guys know is that, Papa, everybody that has Rolex watches stretched out of their mind, watches from their grandmother, their auntie, you know what it is, sister, that the band is stretched, that it was worthless. People are scrapping up all that, bracelets, all those bracelets, with bark finishes, that ugly bark finish that, it's just ugly, it's just ugly. Sometimes Rolex gets it wrong too. They're melting all this, they're scrapping all this gold. They're just melting the casing, the bracelet, everything. They're getting rid of the whole thing. Something that was probably worth, so you understand me, $6,000. Now they're selling it for $18,000, and they're just getting money back, because this is what it is. If you have gold, you're going to have money in your pocket. I want to let you guys let you know about this. Another thing I want to tell you people out there, ladies and gentlemen, for your information, the Rolex watch fever, and I always say this, that they're the biggest. They're King Kong. Rolex is King Kong. The king, the crown, right there it is, the crown right there. They're the crown. But ladies and gentlemen, for some particular reason, the Rolex watch fever is coming to an end. It is coming to an end. The fever is coming to an end. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's people already. They're going into the boutique and they're being offered a 2-tone Submariner with a bluesy, and people say they don't want that, But back in the Corona era, man, you were fighting for that. You were fighting for that watch. You wanted that watch badly. You wanted that watch super badly. Saludos, watch addict. Saludos to you. You wanted those watches badly. Another watch that people are turning down are all the Datejust. They're turning them down inside the Rolex AD. Papi, I know this, Papa. I know all this. All the Rolex ADs cannot move the Datejust, cannot move the Rolex Deep Sea, the Sea Dweller. You understand me? The Explorer. And these were watches that you were fighting. You would give them a grease up. You would take him French pastry. You were taking, pastry, the fatigue is over. The traffic is over. I've been telling you this for 6 months, easily 6 months, but you guys want to continue believing that the watch market is booming and that everybody, all these Muppet boiler room secondary gray watch market dealers and channels are selling watches up the yin-yin. The yin-yin to you, the yin-yin to you deep. Papi, no hay dinero por la calle. The SBA loans are over. The PPP loans are over. Can you get it? The stimulus checks are over. Government grants are over. Protection employment checks are over. El vacilón se terminó, papi. Esto está jodido totalmente. The watch market is upside down, papa. Listen to me, and I said Rolex, but it's not only Rolex. You go to Vacheron Constantin. They can't get rid of these Mickey Mouse watches no more. You go into the other one too with, what do you call that model? The 1159, the AP 1159. They can't give them away. You can't. Nobody wants them. Papi, the fever is over. Se terminó todo ya. You know what it is, people? They go and they offer them an Explorer. The Explorer. The one with the black dial and the white dial with the orange hand. Papi, when you buy that watch, if you're buying it for yourself, that's not a problem. But if you're thinking you're going to make a nickel and a dime, papi, lo que te van a son tres patas por las nalgas, lo que te van a dar. The watches, you can't. You buy for yourself, you don't have a problem. But if you're buying it to flip it, you're going to get this deep. And you're going to get deeper involved in credit cards. So I got to tell you what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. I got to keep on telling you. But it's everywhere. Everywhere. You go to all the stores now, I can't get rid of these watches. And, in the year 2021, they were flying. Probably you couldn't keep a watch. Whatever watch it was, you couldn't keep it there, They did. Yeah, thank you, Papi. They did it. Nobody is buying watches. No matter what you guys want to tell me, you don't have to tell me, Papi. Yo estoy empapado en esta mierda. Yo estoy empapado. You know what empapado means? Empapado en mierda. Yo estoy empapado. I know all this. They called me. They told me we can't move a watch. We can't move a watch. Nobody wants a two-tone watch. Who wants a two-tone watch? Tell me who wants a two-tone watch. People were getting calls for a two-tone Daytona. You know, white out. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants. If you want it for yourself, no hay problema, papi. Tú sabes lo que hay, papá. Tú me entiendes, muñeco. Muñeco, tú me entiendes. Esto está jodido. No sean gilipollas. Stop giving away your money. You can get these. I got to come in the defense. You got to go to the gray market. You got to go to the gray market and get those watches. Because you're going to lose automatically. When you walk out of the boutique, you're going to lose $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. All day, every day. Papi, the root beer, the two-tone GMT, people don't even want it. They don't want it. I have a watch market update for you guys on the Rolex GMT root beer, rose gold with stainless steel. Nadie lo quiere, papi. Nobody wants it. Get it through your head. The watch market is dead. Get it through your head. The watch market is dead. Nobody wants those watches. Nobody. Maybe people that have heavy, deep pockets, they don't have a problem. But the big percentage of the people buying watches are not the heavy people with deep pockets. Somos los lambones como tú y yo. Lambones like me and you are the ones that dishing out the money. And then when that monthly credit card comes in, when it's coming now in January, you know, it's coming now in January, all the toys that I bought for my grandchildren, you know, tricycles, gold fast cars for them, you know, electric ones, you know, they're going to come in and I got to get ready to pay all that stuff, you know. Esto es lo que hay, papá. Esto se jodió. So, you know, and then on top of that, they're telling you now that gold watches. I told you already, gold watches have increased. All gold watches. And I'm going to be honest. Man. Compared to one of those, let's say a gold watch from Rolex, you know, it went up from $42,000 to $48,000. You know, Daytona went from, I don't know, 45, 46 to $52,000, $56,000. But ladies and gentlemen, if you compare Rolex, you know, to the big, you know, super trifecta, you know, Vacheron Constantin, Aramas Piquet, Patek Philippe, it's a bargain. It's a bargain when you're buying those watches because you're buying gold. You're buying something que hay dinero ahí. It's money. But, you know, when you buy these sardine can Nautilus watches and Aquanauts, there's nothing there. You're just paying big money, man, nada. You know, you go over there to a pawn shop somewhere in Iowa, you know, you're over there, you know, Alabama, and they don't know nothing about this. They take the watch, they weigh it. This is what I give you for the watch. Even though you're giving them $100,000, you don't have $100,000 in gold. Y te meten el león así bien para adentro. You guys don't want to hear this. You know what it is? I have 17 organic watch channel subscribers and 6 thumbs up. Ustedes son unos gilipollas. Por eso que le tienen que hacer esto duro. But I do it for free. Kino, no te metas. Quédate ahí con tu cerveza, tómate la Heineken y no te metas en esto. Sigue tomando Heineken, no te metas en esto, Kino. You know, no te metas en esto. No te metas en esto, papi, no te metas en esto. You can. You go with a Rolex and you give him a Rolex Submariner and it weighs 198, you know, grams. And you got some money there, but do it with a Patek. Do it with one of those watches. What you going to get? They don't care. No, the watch costs $200,000. I got a flat tire and my wife is in an emergency hospital. I don't care. This is what I give you. You want the money, yes or no? You got to give it up, bro. You got to give it. No sean pendejo. I'm going to tell you something else today. I feel very, very giving today. I want to give. And you 17 people are going to hear some good news today. Because you've never heard this, but you're going to hear from me today. The first thing I'm going to tell you is, ladies and gentlemen, that you have a couple of watch channels that are coming forward and making videos and making content. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a company out of California, you know, and they are taking over where trucking sweat stain hat with jumbo whiteout ears was, you know, and they're even using the same watchmaker that sweat stained jumbo whiteout ears hat, with small little hands, small little feet, 4 feet 11 inches, and he's in the slammer, he's in downtown over there, he's locked up over there, eating chicken of the sea tuna, over there locked up. And this company's over there, and they call this company the Time Guys. You heard of them, the Time Guys, ladies and gentlemen? I'm gonna, if you heard of the Time Guys, put it up there so I know at least somebody knows. In this channel, we talk with subliminal messages, We don't want no trouble with the TV antenna, the Trump dropping a thunder lightning y se descojona todo esto, But I'm giving you, the Time Guys out of over there, Los Angeles, Y son unos frescos, son unos atrevidos. These are the new ones coming in, very young kids, 30 years old. Exactly, there you go, another boiler room, another one, papi. But I have to give it to you because I'm the only one that gives it to you for free, papi. Thank you very much, Watch Addict, for dropping knowledge there, Help these people out, Watch Addict. Help them out for free. I can't do it all by myself. So, ladies and gentlemen, saludos, Wicked. So that gentleman over there, it's a little team. He's a 30-year-old young man. Listen, I give him credit. Mi respeto, my respect to you. You're doing a business, and I respect that. Now, when the respect stops is when you're doing this to people, when you're fleecing people, when you're hoodwinking people, when you're spoofing people, when you're spoofing people, when you see people that they have a very low IQ in their brains. Not me and not Sweet Kikino and not many of you. We have brains, La cabeza no es solamente para pelo. The head is not only for hair. The head is to think. You understand me? You understand me? That guy. So that guy with the trucking sweat stain hat, with the jumbo whiteout ears, skin tight leotard jeans, small feet, small hands. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Blair. You know what I'm saying. We have a new one, a 30-year-old, a very young one, because these people are so incredible. But I gotta give it to you, and I will continue with this person. But this is the new information that I'm gonna give you guys, because you need it. Ladies and gentlemen, my family members always tell me that I'm very difficult to give Christmas gifts. And you're not going to believe me. I'm a very simple man, because basically I give myself my gifts and that's it. But look at the gift they gave me for Christmas. Can you believe this? What they gave me, Unbelievable. But you know what? I love it, man. I love it. Look at that. It's an unbelievable gift, You understand me? Unbelievable. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's my knowledge that I'm going to give to you guys. Papi, you remember the illusionist, that he would do tricks and he would wear a mask, and he would show you how he did the illusion, right? Let's call it the illusion. I don't need to wear a mask. I'm going to tell you. Thank you, Papa. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Saludos, muchachos, a todos. Los quiero mucho. Son grandes todos. Saludos. Merry Christmas to all of you as well. Happy holidays to all of you as well. But today, I need you guys to pay attention. You guys are lucky. I'm telling you, what you're going to hear today, you're going to go, where does this mother frogger get this information, Papi? I'm 63 years old, You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to say. That part of the country. Christopher, te quiero mucho, papá. Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to tell you, please, when you hear this, you pass it along to another friend of yours, another one, and another one, another one. They're going to freak out when they hear this, what I'm going to say to you. Ladies and gentlemen, so I told you about this guy, this young kid, this young buck, the Milwaukee Bucks basketball team, Buck. This Buck, and he's over there talking a big storm. But I'm going to tell you something, what they do to get you taken. When these people, are buying watches from, let's say, from Mr. Blair, from Mr. Christopher, names, that I'm just allegedly. So when they go into that store and they're doing a channel, they have a content channel. We're going to call it content channel so we don't get a thunder lightning. Content channel. They come in. I'm going to give you an example. You need to hear this carefully so you can pass it along, papi. This is for free. For free, papi. Esto es un regalo de Santa Claus. When they go there and you say an example, you walk in with your Rolex. It's the number one watch that sells. That's it. No matter what they tell you, it's the number one watch that sells. Beautiful, papi. Beautiful, Mr. Addict. Wait till you hear this. Have I known this for a while? For the longest, but I feel that I want to give you my present to you guys today. So they walk in with a Rolex, right? And the seller and the buyer, they go back and forth with the watch. There's no cameras that day. Listen and learn. There's no cameras. They're not recording nothing. It's basically they're doing this on their own selves with their own faces. For real. They're doing the business for real, right? And they come in with a Rolex. And the seller is asking for a price, and the buyer is saying this price. Now they coming into an agreement. They coming into an agreement of the price. Listen and learn so you know how a deputy, a droopy butthole eyes and his sidekick, Jiminy Cricket, you know, with the Chia Pet spray can hair did it. How Big Pun and Heavy D did it. You know, the two Jehovah Witness brothers did it. You know what I'm trying to say? The two toddler body brothers did it. The Hindu brothers in Miami did it. I'm going to show it to you how they did it, how they do it. So when they come into an agreement, the buyer comes into an agreement with the seller and they say $30,000 for the watch. The buyer offers $30,000 and the seller accepts the $30,000 under one condition. Under one condition. I told Sweet Kid Kino on the one condition I'm going to give you the $30,000. Kino replies back, so what's the condition? You're going to come out live on my show. You're going to come out live in my show and I'm going to buy the watch from you. But I'm not going to buy it from you. I'm not going to buy it from you for $30,000. I'm going to buy it from you for $32,000, for $33,000. Are you listening to me or you still don't get it? A little bit of jungle juice because these guys are like sleeping in the hay, you know? You know, this watch brand right here, you know? So he tells them that he has to come out on his show and he's going to offer you $32,000. When in reality, he purchased the watch for $30,000. So when you come in already, when you come in, you spoof balls, you possum kickers, you crumb bums, sandbags, cow tippers, tomato cans, window lickers walk in already. You already walked in knowing that that watch was sold and purchased by the buyer for $33,000, not $30,000. So when you come in, you're gonna come in como un lambón. Oh, I'm happy. I saw that episode where you bought this watch and you bought it for $33,000. You know, I like the watch and I want to buy it. He's already making 3 G's on a subliminal message they pass to you. This is why this is so dangerous. This is why this is so dangerous. This is why this is so dangerous. You know, that I continue watching over my recovering tomato cans. Because all of your recovering tomato cans. So when you walk in there today, you tell everybody. You tell those 2 guys over there from Beverly Hills, a night at the Roxbury, one is tall, one is short. One talks a lot, one is introverted, and they hang out, with the other guy. You know what I'm talking about? The old man with toupee, wig man. You know what I'm trying to say? You follow what I'm trying to say, ladies and gentlemen? The 80-year-old man, he has a toupee wig, pink jeans all cut up, green shoes pointy, yellow belt, flower shirt, drives around in a Ferrari, lives in a house that the kitchen is falling apart, but he's worth $400 million. Papi, no sean pendejo. No sean pendejo. 22 organic Watch Channel subscribers, 13 thumbs up. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? This is sad. 9 people that don't care about it, but they're still here hearing everything because I'm an SOB. That's why. Because I'm an SOB. You know what that means? I'm an SOB. ¿Tú entiendes? You understand me? Ladies and gentlemen, he already told you in a subliminal message that he bought the watch for $33,000, but behind the lights and camera, he bought the watch for 30, papi, for 30. Right there, you come in and he said, look, I only want to put $2,000 on top of the $33,000 that I purchased. You understand me? Do you understand me? I bought it for 33. As you saw, I'm so happy. Here, come and take a picture with me. Le dan duro, papi. They come and take a picture with them and everything, The guy, the time guys. The time guys. You got to see them, papi. Son rata. These are the new ones. These are the new ones that are coming in. These are the ones that had training, But they forgot that I'm around. They forgot. They forgot that I know the business inside out. I know this business inside out. No sean pendejos. Son 40 años en esto. Son 40. It's more than 40 years I've been involved in this, man. I say 40 because I was an adult already at the time when Paco and everybody was giving to me the whole thing. Papi, it's an incredible grift, and it works like a charm. It works like a charm, papi. You know what it is? You're under the camera, quiet, and you make the deal for 30, and then you're gonna agree to film with them. That you're gonna agree to film. You know it, papi. Watch Addict. These are all crumb bums, sandbags. They're spooking. They don't know what to do. They're running to the hills now. They're running. They're flocking now. They're flocking. The guy did it again, bro. They're saying, who is this guy? You know what they tell him? Listen, guy, that guy is 63 years old. He knows the business better than you and me. He knows it. I said it wrong. Sweet Kikino. It's not me. It's not me. I cannot take that credit. The one that knows all this is El Borracho. You understand me? They go back. What do you want us to do? The guy knows it. If you're recording, I'm going to give you the $30,000. I'm going to give you, he's the mastermind. Joaquin is the mastermind. Brillante. Te quiero mucho, Kino, coño. So you say, coño, they're giving me $30,000. What I have to do is just come out in the show, selling him the watch, him saying the price that he purchased it. So a lambón and a palomo, and a crumb bum and a sandbag, when he walks into the store, into the shop, you already know that he bought that watch for 33. I'm saying 33 because soy malo, I'm bad. I'm saying 33. He didn't buy it for 33. He bought it for 30. Right off the bat, he's making 3 G's from that little content. And he's going to tell you now, listen to me. If you let me make $2,000 more, I'm happy. I give you the watch. 5 G's. Fuera a dormir. You guys need to know these things, ladies and gentlemen. You guys have to hear these things because nobody is going to tell you. Nobody is going to tell you the situation. This is what they all did. I'm like the magician, the magician from the 90s, that he will tell everybody. He will tell everybody. Let me ask you a question, guys. Do you guys think I'm bullshitting you? Go ahead, put it up there. Put me yes. Go ahead, I like to see yes. Put it up there. You think I'm bullshitting you? And this is what they do to you guys. When they hear this today, they're going to go, mother frogger. motherfrogger. The masked magician, the masked magician from the late 80s, early 90s. He would show you how he would disappear an elephant. A panerai. It's a collector's BS, It's a pobrecito, man. Collector. Bought it from the boutique like como un lambón. And they got me deep. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want all of you to, thank you. The price, thank you very much. I want you guys to know this so you can continue. When you told these lambones on 47th Street, over there in Canal Street, with those fake watches, and you told Eddie Monster, Eddie Monster with the funeral home curtains, Uncle Johnny Eddie Monster, when you tell the guy with the chiclets, he had rotten teeth and now he has two big horse teeth, like Bugs Bunny, and you tell him that. I hear you guys buy the watches, undercover all alone, and then when you record, you put 3, 4, 5 G's. The higher the watch, the bigger the price. You understand me? You understand what I'm trying to say, Papi? I know what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to teach you guys because I want you to start the year 2026 blazing. Blazing, Papi. Let it drop it. Drop it. You drop it, Papi. You just tell them in their face. And how do you know about this? Come on. He's all over the tube. He's in block condition. He's in block. He's in block condition, but he's telling you like it is. All these people, you got the 10 Commandments. You know who the 10 Commandments is? Remember what was 10 Commandments' name? Look for his name. You get him there, You got the other guy too, Electric Lux vacuum cleaner, Electric Lux vacuum cleaner. So you can see them there. You can see the young girl that looks like Diana Ross, over there too. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, somebody has to tell you the truth. Somebody. The gift I just finished giving you guys? This is the gift. This is the gift that I'm giving you today. So you understand what's happening out there, ladies and gentlemen. Ustedes no pueden ser lambones. They can lock me down as much as they want. I'm not saying nothing bad. I'm helping. I'm educating people. I'm not dumb downing on you people. I'm getting you people smart. We had 24 organic subscribers and 14. Kino, por eso que no se le puede decir tanto. That's why Kino says that we need to do these videos and put it away. And because listen to me, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you something else. Esto es un abuso. This is an abuse what you guys have out there with me and Sweet Kid Kino. Esto es un abuso, ladies and gentlemen. Esto es un abuso. Ladies and gentlemen, the guy over there, over there from the fake Italian flat top monkey eyebrows. You know what that guy I heard is raising, allegedly, the membership prices that he's charging people over there, $21.99, papi. I said it wrong, 21.99 euros. 21.99 euros. And what does that guy give you? What does that guy give you? He's getting greased up and handed out by everybody. Exactly, that guy right there, Mr. Blair, that guy. That's what he's getting handouts, Then you got the other crumb bum over there walking, Las Vegas, like a vagrant walker, without no direction and just, swallowing his saliva. He's disgusting. Disgusting, man. This guy has to be disgusting, which I call Eugene, a.k.a. Jacob McChicken. The SEC is looking for him. You know what the SEC is? Google it so you can find out who he is. Google it. No sean lambones. Charging $9.99 for memberships. And what does he give you? This he gives you in. Because he's one like that. He's one of those people. He's a bad person, ladies and gentlemen. I know what I'm telling you. Ese señor es malo. Ese es malo. Ese señor es malo. That Mashugana doesn't. On Saturdays, you'll never see him around. Because on Saturdays, he's over there in his church, I'm telling you, but you got to be careful for him. This is for free, papi. I'm telling you for free. Tiene que tener cuidado. You know what I'm trying to tell you, ladies and gentlemen. You got the George Clooney from Australia, the kangaroo country, over there charging $17.99, ladies and gentlemen. $17.99 for memberships. And what do I get? What do I get? Yo cojo mierda, lo que cojo yo mierda. Kino, no te metas en esto, Kino. No te metas en esto porque tengo que hablarle a estos muchachos, tengo que hablarle bien, Kino. Tengo que hablarle bien. Tengo que hablarle bien. I'm going to tell you something else, ladies and gentlemen, because you need to continue hearing this. I want you to see, the time guys. I want you to see so you can see what a stage operation is about. You know what a stage. You're not going to believe this. So when they're making the show, listen and learn. So when they're making the show, you have the young kid, 30 añitos. He was taught very well, with the lollipops. Come on, throw yourself, I'll catch you. He's there and he has a piece on his ear and he's talking. Hold the line, hold the line. The young kid is telling the people in the front, hold the line. You got to see this episode. Leave the channel. Leave this channel and go see that episode, and come back to me. So he's calling them to, hold the line back. Ladies and gentlemen, they put the camera. They put the camera outside. You're not going to believe this, ladies and gentlemen. You've been hijacked, Papi. We have all been hijacked. Ladies and gentlemen, this person that's talking here, he listens to what I say. We have all been hijacked. We have all been hijacked, ladies and gentlemen. And it's sad. And it's sad to say this, but we have all been hijacked, and most of all, our brains have been hacked. How do you call that, guys? Help me out. Hacked, right? When the computer, they hack your computer, hack your phone. I don't know. Help me out, ladies and gentlemen. Help me out. We have all been hijacked. We have all been, hacked. Hacked and cracked. There you go. I like that one, coño. Ese guachare que es uno de los míos. Tú eres uno de los míos, papá. Tú eres uno de los míos. You don't understand. These are MK Ultra tactics. You remember what Pluto would do to Olive Oil, Popeye's chick, When Pluto wanted to get Olive Oil, what did he do to her? He just wanted to ta, y le bajaba la panty. Kino, no te metas, Kino, que estoy caliente hoy, Kino. Estoy caliente. He would give her the logo. And when he didn't want nothing no more with Popeye, with Pluto, he would send her back to Popeye, Porque Popeye era un gilipollas. Popeye era un lambón. Popeye era un lambón. Y Pluto will give her the MK Ultra. The MK Ultra. The ladies and gentlemen, the guy is calling from his office, with 17 cameras, TVs, and he's telling there, make the line, let him stay out there, like what I'm trying to say, a big long line. There was a real big long line with lollipop suckers, crayon eaters, tomato cans, Palmolive dish lickers, crumb bums, sandbags. They were all there, ladies and gentlemen. It's all staged, and you see the people, they're fighting, and there were a bunch of customers from the Philippines, customers from Africa, customers from Italy. They were all over the place. A reality show, like the guy, the guy with the pawn shop in Las Vegas. His father had real good hair, and his son was bald headed. And then they have another guy called Fumbly, and you know what I'm trying. These are all paid actors, ladies and gentlemen. No coman mierda, ladies and gentlemen. In the big long line, ladies and gentlemen. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to keep on telling you more about this show because you need to see it. This is the prototype that you have to pass it along to other people so they understand how they're getting taken deep, how they're getting flim-flam, how they're getting fleeced. Because they're kids. El que se cuesta con niño amanece cagado. ¿Tú entendiste? El que se cuesta con niño amanece cagado. You don't know what I say? You Google it, papi. Even papi, listen to me. Every watch channel has one favorite. If you haven't noticed this, please tell me, Coño, Juan, tú estás claro. Juan, you're right. Every watch channel has a number one customer, and he's part of the show. He's the one that buys all the watches. He's the one that trades them back in. You know, everyone, you know. Trucking Sweat Stain had one. The two Big Pun and Heavy D out of Dallas had one. The two Jehovah Witness brothers have one. The two Toddler Body brothers have one. You know, Deputy Boxing Black Eyes and his sidekick Jiminy Cricket with the Chia Pet spray can hair and the baseball cap hair have one. It's like it is. It's part of the gig, man. Coño, what I'm dropping for you guys today, I'm dropping you my soul, man. You know, the Roxbury has one. Who's the Roxbury? You know, over there, you know, Feet Happy. You know, Feet Happy, they have one too. Who is it? Feet Happy has like 16 of them. They're all favorite. The number one is, you know who it is. You know who it is. You don't know who it is? Toupee Wigman. Toupee Wigman. Papi, and I have to give you the play-by-play. How can they get me out, Papi? How? What do I do? I protect your children's tuition money. I protect your wife's 401k. I protect, you know, your social security check. I protect it. No, espera, Kino, no te puedes meter en esto, Kino, no te puedes meter. A little vodka, you know? Little vodka there. Ladies and gentlemen, I try to help you guys out. This is what's going on. And ladies and gentlemen, it gets better. It gets better, ladies and gentlemen. You know, there's a pawn shop, a very famous pawn shop. You know, over there from, I think it's from Detroit. You know, from Detroit. Over there, they got a gentleman that he opened a pawn shop in the 1970s, and they call him Wes. You know, they call him Wes, and they have a son, and they have a daughter. Salute Diao. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm dropping today. That's the one. And this is crazy, guys. So I'm there. Kino and me are watching. I said, bro, these people are all a fraud, man. These people are all hoodwinkers, hucksters. You know what I'm saying? And ladies and gentlemen, so in the show of this gentleman, you know, that I was telling you, the timepiece guy, you know, so he has that guy from Detroit. You know his name already. He comes from Detroit, and he comes with his son. You know, the son and the father look alike. You know, they look unbelievable, and they have a daughter too. Her name is Sassly, and they have a son. I think his name is, I don't know his name, Leaf. I don't know, something Leaf like that. You know. And ladies and gentlemen, cuando la situación está jodida, people do whatever it is to make a buck. You know, if he's gonna give us a day just if we come here, because we're stars, we go over there and take the day just from them y pa'l carajo, papi. Es una jodienda, papi. Yo sé lo que te estoy hablando. Yo soy un máster. I'm self-proclaimed. I said it wrong. Sweet Kikino self-proclaimed. You know? Every city got a flim-flammer. You know? I'm telling you, and I'm telling you all this, man, ladies and gentlemen, papi. When they see me, you know, they shake in their boots. When they see me, because they know that I have the plays. I have all the plays. I gave you a big play today. This is on chapter, this one here, so you understand. This number, don't ever forget this number. And these people from the world, the owners of the world, use this number. This is chapter 33. If you don't know what 33 is, that's not my problem. This is chapter 33. No. I have to put 33. 33. 33 degree. 33 degree. What I told you today is 33. You know? 33. 33 is going, and silver is going to the moon. $80. $80.39 a troy ounce. Just to let you guys know. Just to let you guys, you know it. 33, papi. 33. This is 33. What I told you today, you're going to go, all those exchanges of sales, they're all staged. The real number, you never heard it. But you guys eran tan lambones que you believe that number. You know, it's like when you buy a Rolex again. Rolex, because you guys, you know, you like Rolex, and it's easy for me to make you understand. You buy a Rolex, Le Mans, yellow gold, black dial, white gauges, and they put it there. They're coming into an agreement, and they say, you know, they say a price of. Listen to me, so you understand me. They come into an agreement with somebody there, you know, that has the money, and because not everybody has $175,000 laying around, so they buy the Rolex Le Mans Daytona, you know, yellow gold, black dial, white gauges, and behind the doors, they buy the watch for a buck, an even buck 75. But then I tell you, I'm gonna buy you the watch for 175. But you're gonna have to come out on the show. You're gonna have to come out on my show, and me buying the watch from you, and I bought it from you for a buck 90. A buck 90. You know, you're gonna get paid, and you're just gonna say, I'm paying you 190. Whatever you do in the streets now, whatever that person that sold the watch for 175 and he's coming out on TV selling it for 190, nobody gives a shit what he says in the street no more. You follow what I'm trying to say? Nobody gives a shit. You sold it for 195. 195. So how much money now once he puts it out there in camera and records you and the big transaction, and then he puts the machine with all the 20s and 50s and $100 bills to pay you supposedly the $195,000. I don't know what I said, 190, 190. I don't know what it is. So you bought it in reality for 175, and now you're saying in TV that you bought it for 195 and even $20,000. And now a big fan comes in running. I'm a big fan of you, you know? I'm a big fan of you, and I like that beautiful Le Mans Daytona, yellow gold, black dial, white gauges. And the guy says, look, I need to make money on this watch, you know? Give me, you know, quickly so I can make some money because I need to, you know, move cash right away. Give me 202, give me 203. And you pay it, and you pay it. I'm giving you examples so you understand how this operates. There's 20 already in the pocket already. 20 is in the pocket. 20,000. So everybody that buys and sells a watch, I said it wrong. Everybody that goes to sell a watch to one of these flim-flammers, they're gonna say yes. If they have a show. If they don't have a show, they don't have to do it. But the ones they're filming, that's how they do it. That's how they do it. No, Kino, le dije la verdad, Kino. Le dije la verdad. Le dije la verdad. They need to know the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, somebody's asking me if it's the same memo, it's the same blueprints sent out to, you know, to Dallas, sent out to New York, sent out to California, sent out to Philadelphia, you know, send out to the Diamond District. It's the same playbook, papi. It's the same playbook. This is why they all get along so well, because they practice the same thing. Papi, today, if you hear tomorrow that I'm laying down in a slab of concrete, you know why I'm laying down on a slab of concrete. You understand me? You understand me? A little break, you know? I'm giving it to you the way it is, you know? I'm giving it to you. They're running. They're making phone calls to New York. They're making phone calls to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Dallas, you know? California, Boston, Massachusetts. Bro, the guy threw it right under the bus. Tell them to call me. Tell them to call me. Tell them to call me. Tell them to call me if they want to know. So I can tell them, yes, you don't have to call me. Send them the link. Mr. Blair, thank you very much for cooperating with that unbelievable super thanks. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much, Papa. Thank you very much, Mr. Blair. He's a little sweetheart. Hey, what's a little heart? What's going on here? Hey, I can't get the heart. Hey, what did I do here? Hey, guys. Okay, I got scared there. Hey, what's going on? So you guys cannot believe these people any longer, guys. You guys cannot believe these people. These people, what they're doing the whole day is trying to find a way to get you taken. Papi, I'm one step ahead of them. Listen to me. If you are planning, I know a lot of people don't have plans for that, but if you have plans, we have a real big watch show here in Miami. And then after that, we're going to have a real big antique watch show. It's the same thing. They just changed the names around. But one is in the convention center in Miami Beach. If you want to go, I'm going to be there probably walking around with my wife. My wife likes to go buy vintage purses and all that good stuff. And, she me vuelve loco. She drives me crazy. So we're going to be there in the antique show. For sure, we're going to be there. We've been going there for the last 40 years of our lives. So guys, do not get taken. Do not get taken, because this channel is the new channel of getting all of you taken, and you must pass the word around. And I'm going to tell you the last thing to finish with this gentleman, this 30-year-old Macabélico. He's into promoting boxing, and he has this kit that he's sponsoring. His name is Johnny, I don't know, Johnny the Snake, Johnny the Snake, and they're putting him in a Rolls Royce, all gold wrapped, Papi, the same blueprints. Don't you see it? Don't you see the same thing? A Rolls Royce, thank you very much, Mr. Blair. Thank you so much again. To all of you, just by being here, I appreciate you guys. I'm being square business with you guys. And even Sweet Kid Kino is happy himself, I'm telling you, a boxing, this guy over there, the timepiece guy, he's sponsoring a boxer. His name is Johnny the Snake, and they put him in a Rolls Royce yellow gold wrap. I think it's all wrapped, and they take him to the boxing match, and the guy's wearing a big chain that says, the timepiece, guys. You got to see this, Papi. It's the new one, Papi. 5 will go down, and 7 more will come again. It's like that. It's like that. You know in your mind that when you play the Powerball, the lottery, it's all a sketch, but you keep on playing it. It's a sketch. You had a Powerball not too long ago for $1.7 billion. $1.7 billion. And somebody got it over there, all alone, Tú sabes el cojón de gente que jugaron eso. Papi, las cucarachas nunca mueren. Cockroaches never die. No matter what kind of spray you use, Raid, Super Raid, Extra Raid, salen, brother, son ratas. These are rats. Rats. Do you guys, listen up to me, do you guys want to soar with the eagles? I repeat, do you guys want to soar with the eagles or crawl with the rats? You want to soar with the eagles. You don't want to crawl with the rats. You've been crawling with the rats for too long until Sweet Kid Kino and I came along. That's right. For free, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, you got to see what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to give you guys a watch market update because somebody asked me for the Rolex GMT root beer two-tone rose gold, stainless steel, reference number 126711. CHNR. Ladies and gentlemen, do yourself a favor. Don't pay for that watch more. You ready for this? Does anybody know what I'm going to say not to pay for that watch? Does anybody know what I'm going to say not to pay for that watch? Nobody knows? Jammy. You know who it is. You know who it is. Don't pay for the root beer. You do yourself a favor. In a couple of days from now, it'll be January 2026. Don't pay for that watch more than $16,800 in dropping faster than Bill Clinton's pants. You do whatever you want. It's your money and you do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak stainless steel 15500. Stainless steel. It has a sinker. Sinker, fishing sinker, gray dial. Plomo, plomo. And ladies and gentlemen, I was watching this watch just to watch it. I watched it since the 22nd, 23rd, 24th. And then they put it back out again, and the watch just stalled. Just se quedó ahí, se pudrió como un aguacate. It got rotten like an avocado, It got rotten. It wouldn't move. And the Meshuggah was asking, the sandbag was asking for the watch. Listen to this. He was asking for the watch. Que son unos locos, man. He was asking $38,000. This is why I tell you that AP is selling stainless steel watches for $38,000, and Rolex is giving you a gold watch. I'm defending the king of watches. I'm defending the king of watches, ladies and gentlemen. I'm defending the king of watches. You know what I'm trying to say, Mr. Blair. You know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. Saludo, Franco. Bienvenido, papá. And I'm gonna tell you, you know what it is? 38,000, and nobody budged. Not even a couple of hearts, of liking. Not even a couple of comments. DM me. None of that. You know what I'm saying? None of that. Don't pay for that watch more, ladies and gentlemen. You do whatever you want, but don't pay. I'm gonna be kind to them. Don't pay for it more than $33,000. You do whatever you want, but I'm telling you, you cannot compare that watch, stainless steel, with a sinker dial, sinker, fishing sinker dial, that color, You can't, man, compare it with a Rolex, gold Rolex, Papa. You can get a gold Rolex for, right now, you can get one for $26,000 full gold, and your money is there. If you stop in Arkansas, if you get a flat tire, if you get motor problems, if you get mechanical problems in your car, in Arkansas, Alabama, those places, Kentucky, over there, back there, backyard USA, small town USA, and you have an AP stainless steel 15500, with a fishing sinker dial, and you have a gold Rolex, Papa, you'll get out of the hole with the gold Rolex, and you'll get this with the AP stainless steel, deep. That's what you're gonna get. That's what you're gonna get. That's what I got to tell you. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch, unbelievable. It's a Richard Mille. Richard Mille watches are dead in water, ladies and gentlemen. No matter what they tell you, Richard Mille watches are dead in water. This is the Richard Mille FM Asia Boutique Edition. Brown ceramic, unbelievable watch, chrono. This watch, ladies and gentlemen, was over $500,000. 500,000 maraca. Los chinos are getting smart. The Chinese people are smart. They're not spending no more money. They're not. They don't want none of this stuff. It's dead. They don't want. You know what they want? Gold. Pure gold. You know what they want? Silver. Pure silver. That's what they want. Se terminó el vacilón, papi. Se terminó el vacilón. Don't pay for that Richard Mille. Asia Boutique Edition, brown ceramic, rose gold chrono with the pushers. Don't pay for that watch more. And if you pay, I don't want you to pay nothing for it. But if you are going to pay for it, don't pay for that watch. You know what I'm trying to say. It's the new Frank Mueller. It is. It's been for the longest. First, it was Alain Cyberstein. Then it was Jacob. Then it was Frank Mueller. Then it was Hublot. And now it's Richard Mille. Papi, these watches, it's going to be funny when you see little kids wearing a Richard Mille. Like my grandson calls it a toy. He's a little boy. He's only 5 years old. He says, this is a toy watch, Grandpa. And I'm telling you what it is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you what it is. I'm telling you what it is. Don't pay for that Richard Mille FM Asia Boutique Edition. Don't pay chronograph. Don't pay more than 100. I wouldn't pay it, but don't pay more than $192,000. You do whatever you want. It's your money. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk to you about a Rolex Daytona yellow gold Le Mans. Reference number 126528LN, 40 millimeter, black dial, white gauges. I just gave you the story. You know, you sell it to me for 175, but you have to come out on camera. You have to come out on camera, you know, saying that you sold me the watch for 195. You understand me? No sean lambones. No sean lambones, papi. No sean lambones. No sean lambones. Don't pay for that watch. Don't get nervous, papi. It's the truth. Don't pay for that watch more than $189,000. You do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is an AP Royal Oak, two-tone, stainless steel and rose gold, 41 millimeter, white dial, reference number 15450SR. Ladies and gentlemen, this watch has a, you know, if you look into those platforms you guys like to look at, you know, you could be, you know, 24 Chrono, Bay, you know, Bobby's, all that, you know, they're asking for this watch, unbelievable prices. That one too, that one too. And this is the real channel, papi. This is, papi, I'm like a sore thumb en el orto, you know? A sore thumb metido en el orto, you know? And they can't get it out. You know that? I'm a sore thumb. I mean, you know, dame quedarme callado porque no quiero buscar problemas. You know, I don't want to look for no problems, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that watch. That AP Royal Oak two-tone, stainless steel rose gold, 41 millimeter, white dial, 15450SR. Don't pay for that watch more than $34,000. I don't care what they tell you. You don't want to hear the retail price on that watch. It's no lo que era. It's stupid, people. Tan loco, tan loco. Let me give you another one, ladies and gentlemen. Let me give you another one. AP Royal Oak Rose Gold Chrono 26331, 41 millimeter rose gold. Blue dial. Yeah, I will say the same thing too. You're right. I'm not a, I take that back. I'm not a fan of two-tone watches, but for some reason in that Corona era and in 2021, it blew up. Everybody would take even a two-tone. But today, you heard what I told you since the beginning of the show. I told you that today, Rolex ADs cannot move these watches. The Rolex Datejust, the Rolex Deep Sea, the Rolex two-tone Daytona, the Rolex Explorer, 39, 40 millimeter with the black dial. They have one white dial with the black dial, which is like 42 millimeter. They can't sell those watches. Papi, they're there. Go get them. Go get them. Now you don't want them no more. You know why you don't want them no more? Because the fever is over. Se terminó la fiebre, papi. Se terminó la fiebre. Papi, se terminó la fiebre. It's over. There's so many different Rolex. Let's say, so you understand. You guys want the 41 millimeter Labrador. You want the 41 millimeter, I don't know, pistachio. You want a blue one, 40, and you pay for it. But when they give you a black one, they give you with a white dial, you don't want that watch. It's the same watch, just different dials. That's the American dream. That is the frogging American dream, you know? That is the frogging American dream in this country. You don't want it because you want the Labrador, you want the Tiffany, you want the green, you want the yellow, the beige, you want the red, but you don't want the white one. You don't want that one. You don't want the blue one. You know, not the Tiffany, no, the blue one. You want that. Papi, it's over, papi. Se terminó. You guys don't want to believe it. Go in there. Go in there. Go into your favorite Rolex AD now. I'm going to tell you this. It's back to where it was at one time in the 2016, 17, 18 era. That you will walk into a Rolex AD. Listen and learn. No sean pendejo. You will walk into a Rolex AD. They will offer you Coca-Cola. They will offer you a little Zinfandel wine. They will offer you, if you were buying the watch, they were going to open a bottle of Moet Chandon to give you a shot, right? And the only watches you couldn't get at that moment, does anybody know what were the only watches you couldn't get? Go ahead, tell me. If you don't tell me, I'm not going to continue. Me voy pa'l carajo. Tell me which is the only watches you couldn't get in the year 16, 17, 18. What were they? That's it. That's it. Daytona. That's all. That's all you needed. That's all. Daytona. The rest, you got them all. No te metas aquí, no. No te metas que estoy encendido. No te metas que la boca me está bajando bien. No te metas. I got smart people in this channel. The only watch you couldn't get was the Daytona stainless steel. And in my time, it was the black dial stainless steel, not ceramic bezel, black dial, white dial. Oh, Papi, Pepsi came in 2018, 19. You know, it came in. But I'm trying to say, you know, from that era, you know, 15, 16, 17, you know, you walk in there, Papi, they will take you to the back room. They will take you to the back room. You're gonna buy me this Rolex Submariner. You're gonna buy me a two-tone bluesy. No sean pendejo. You gotta be smart. Papi, we're like 2 flights from getting there. 2 more flights and you're there. You're gonna say, man, that guy said it, man. That guy said it. Thank you, Papi. Thank you, Papi. The watch market is dead. We are 2 steps. You heard it here again. You heard it here again. My time, you can walk in to the store that is closing down today, one of their stores in Miami International Mall called Mayors. I'm not afraid to say it, Mayors, because I was a customer there. And you will walk in there, they had the whole thing stacked up of Rolex watches, even Daytonas, only 2-tone. Even Rolex Daytonas, only 2-tone. And you know what else I had on Rolex Daytonas? They had gold ones. Gold ones. You know? Gold ones with leather straps. You know? With the beach colors, green, yellow, blue. You know, all those colors, you know, lemon, yellow, whatever it is, they had them all there. And now we are almost there. And now you guys are not going to go back to your AD, taking them a bottle of Jack Daniels, taking them a whole box full of French pastries. You don't have to do that no more. You don't have to. Today you take him a Hershey bar. Manada, you take him a Hershey bar. Se terminó todo, papi. Se terminó todo. Se terminó. Let me continue with this watch market update because I'm on fire today, papi. I'm on fire. I'm giving it to you guys for free. The Green Beach. There you go. It's all that stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that Rolex Daytona Yellow Gold Le Mans 126528 LN 40 millimeter black dial white gauges. Don't pay more than one. Johnny Blue, papi. You don't need to do no more Johnny Blue. It's over. Now you take him a bottle of MD 2020. Se jodió, papi. Se jodió, papá. Esto se jodió. You come here to learn. You don't come here to learn about a strap. You don't come to learn here about a rotor. You know? Look at this watch. Unbelievable. I can't even give it away today. Look at that. Look at the name it has on the 6. Unbelievable watch. I can't even. You know? What am I going to do? You know? $8,000. I can't even get $3,000 for the watch. Pa'l carajo. Ser lambone. Come on. It's for free. My Christmas present. Hugo Boss for me. Believable, that grandson of mine's. Ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that watch more than $189,000. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you another AP Royal Oak Rose Gold Chrono 26331 41 millimeter Rose Gold Blue Dial. You know, don't pay for that watch. Don't pay for that watch more, no matter if they tell you it's 92, 93, 89, 88. Don't pay. You know what I'm trying to say, Mr. Blair. Don't pay for that watch. And it's dropping, Poppy. Don't pay for it more than $76,500. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. I know what I'm trying to tell you. I know what I'm trying to tell you. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a watch that when I tell you this, you're not going to believe me. Every channel that you guys have been listening to, like, let's say, Morticia out of the United Kingdom. You know, Morticia out of the United Kingdom. Unbelievable, that Morticia, you know? Hollywood looks, but looks like Morticia. You got this gentleman, which I call the Stormtrooper, you know? He's a new one now. He has a beautiful English voice. He has a shaved head. He wears, you know, fatigue jackets. Ladies and gentlemen, he's saying the watch market is dead. Dead. You know the guy which I call the Japanese analytics guy? He's unbelievable. Something happened to him. I don't know if you look at him, if you look at him, he has like something cut in his, I don't know what happened. I think shaving, he messed up his mouth. You know, the Chinese guy, he has a jacket on and he talks about analytics and all that good stuff. You know who I'm talking about, right? You should see what he's saying, ladies and gentlemen. Watch market is dead. Watch market is dead. And I get happy when I hear Morticia. You know, I get happy when I hear the Stormtrooper. I get happy when I see the Asian gentleman with the busted lip. The Japan man. Thank you, Mr. Wicked. Le digo la Japón. Mr. Miyagi. Okay, Mr. Miyagi, you know? Japan, if you see him, he got like a busted, I don't know what happened to him, man. Something happened, you know, I felt bad for him. And he looked, you know, he looked mad, you know? And because let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, for these YouTubers, like let's say Japan Man and Stormtrooper, in particular, I'm gonna go with Japan Man. You know, I don't, you know, he's seen the real thing and he's mad. He's mad, you know, he's mad. He's very mad. You know, he's mad because he doesn't want you people to get taken. So he's doing my job now. You know, I don't get mad no more. I saw him and I'm going to be honest. I think he should have, you know, put up, you know, something here, you know, because you know who I'm talking about? Has anybody seen what I'm talking about? Has anybody seen what I am talking about? You know, Japan Man, analytics, and he puts different charts. Maniático. Well, look at him today. Look at him today. You're going to go, oh my God. You know, something happened. It's like this. Something happened to him. I don't know. I'm not making fun of him. I'm just telling you, when you see him, don't say bad things to him. He's a good man. You know, he's a good man. Got it. So they're all talking about the watch market is dead. I'm going to stop this because I don't like this. Ladies and gentlemen, these are my last 4 watches, so you guys can continue hopping around through life. It is the Rolex Yellow Gold Daytona with a meteorite dial. He's always, you know, quoting Sax Goldman. Always. That guy. I mean, you got to see him. I don't know. Look like a Rocky Balboa fight, you know? Or Bruce Lee would Enter the Dragon, you know? I don't know what happened to him, but you got to see him. I'm not making fun of you, sir. I have a lot of respect for you because you are getting agitated because you see that your followers are not listening to you. But, you know, I've been doing this for the last 4 years, so now you understand. You understand what's going on. Listen to me. This is the Rolex Daytona Yellow Gold What do you guys write there? Okay, he's scoring good. Exact. Fudinki rated Kino show the number. He fought with boxing black guys. I'm telling you. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know, but I'm gonna go write. I think I'm gonna write him a message. You know that I have respect for him. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the Rolex Daytona Yellow Gold Meteorite Dial 40 millimeter, reference number 116508. I want you to know somebody said the word analytics here. Somebody said analytics. I'm only gonna say analytics. I want you to know I just saw you see, I said, oh man, why is he in TV like that? Imagine, me being bust up like that. I think the only way I would show my face that all busted is because if somebody robbed me or something, and I'm jumping like the guy from the King Lion over there in New York, 47th Street, the King Lion with the skin tight hair, the man bun, and the clover Van Cleef bracelets, then I will come out. But I don't know. I feel bad for Japan, man. I feel bad for Japan. I'm telling you, this is crazy, man. Oh, a skateboard accident. Wow. Thank you, Mr. Franco. Gracias. Thank you. Wow. There it is, guys. He had an accident. Se cayó y se descojonó. Unbelievable. Let's hope he keeps his wife happy. He was skateboarding to his. Están exagerados los muchachos hoy. But guys, let me finish with this. This is the Rolex Daytona Yellow Gold Meteorite Dial 40 millimeter, reference number 116508. I want you guys just to know something. I don't know. Okay, Papa. I won't take you on that. That watch channel, analytics, ladies and gentlemen, they had this watch at one moment, so you understand where we're at. Does anybody know what that watch was costing at one moment? The yellow gold meteorite dial. Yellow gold, not rose gold, yellow gold. Fully yellow gold. I'm not going to look no more at the messages because I'm not going to be able to finish this. But does anybody know what that watch was costing at one moment? It's a $41,000 watch. You got it allocated. You were a big shot. You got it. You were spending millions of dollars in jewelry for your wife, your side chick, your lover, whatever it was. But that watch, ladies and gentlemen, was over $285,000 in the secondary gray watch market. That is unbelievable. And I'm going to tell you today, coño, man, I would show it to you right now, Mr. Blair, but I can't because I'm looking at it. But you said $95,000, I believe. 95,000. Mr. Christopher saying 85. I'm going to stop it right there. Between Christopher and who said 95? Was it Ed? Yeah, it was Ed. 85 and 95, right? Christopher and Ed. And I'm going to tell all of you, ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that watch. Here it goes. Don't pay for that watch more than $90,500. Okay? From $285,000. It's a bloodbath out there, Papi. It's a bloodbath. A bloodbath. And you want to hear something? The person that's selling that watch is a person that paid over $200,000 for that watch. That's how it is, Papa. Good job, boys. Good job. You guys are on point. Good job. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you another watch. And this is for all of you now to see where you guys are at. This is a Rolex Platinum Daytona with a diamond pave dial with blue gauges and a diamond baguette bezel. Platinum, this watch. So you understand, this watch was over $495,000. $495,000. I've been playing with this watch for the last easy. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Wicked. Easy for the last 2 years. 210, 205. Let's call it the Liberace Daytona, you know? Blue gauges, pave diamond dial, baguette, diamond bezel. I mean, this is the most expensive one, Papi. To the moon, to the moon. Papi, $495 inside their Rolls Royce Corniche. Wire. Does anybody know what I'm going to tell you not to pay for that watch? We're talking about used slider condition material watches in this channel. Does anybody know? Go ahead, Mr. Blair. Don't Google it. Christopher, don't Google it. You guys, I'm telling you, a monster watch. All the way down to the seller. Wow, Franco. Franco, give me a number, Papa. You sound like you know what you're saying. Give me a number. I want to know where you're at. Don't Google it. If you Google it, you're going to be cheating. Why? Nobody knows. Going once. Going twice. Nobody knows. Don't pay for that watch more than $173,000. Watch market is dead. Papi, you don't want to know the retail price of that watch. Telling you. Coño, mira, 185. You heard what I said, Mr. Blair. You heard what I said. You heard what I said. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk to you about a watch that at this moment, I'm going to say what I feel. I'm going to say the truth. You're very welcome, Papa. You're very welcome. But this one here, you need to listen to this one because this is a watch brand that I think very, very, very highly of this watch brand. The way they do their movements, the way they do their casing, bracelet, and I think that they are right now at this moment. It's pretty close for me to say already. They are making the best dials in the watch industry. Does anybody know who I'm talking about? This is an exam. Coño, man. Qué bravo el tipo, brother. Who put that there, man? Wow, watch addict, bro. Papa, peace to you, man. Peace to you. Peace to you, Papi. Peace to you, Papa. Peace to you. Peace to you, Papa. De verdad. I'm you know, all of you are saying something, but I gotta tell you, the one that said it automatically with this gentleman, watch addict, I think is 247. And ladies and gentlemen, yeah, you're very welcome, Papa. Listen, when I see somebody that says something like that, I go, wow, I can't believe it. This watch company is doing something big, and they're doing big things. You know, their movements, their bracelets, their casing, and most of all, I think, and let me tell you, for Christopher, because he said Vacheron Constantin, and he is right. And this is where I'm putting H. Muser at. I'm putting H. Muser in the platform with Vacheron Constantin. No lie, no kidding aside. I'm putting them right together. And that says a lot, man. Let me tell you, they have this green. They have this green matrix dial. Brother, that's out of control. They have a green matrix dial that's out of control. And this watch is fully stainless steel. There's a subscriber from our channel, which his name is Damon. He likes this watch as I like this watch, you know, very, very much. I like all the watches. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. It's unbelievable. I mean, the Streamliner. Correct. It is the Streamliner. Correct. And let me explain to you something about this because you guys need to hear this. This watch, this H. Muser Streamliner, 3 seconds with a, you know, matrix green dial that's out of control. It has an exhibition in the back. You can see the movement. Lari, lari, lari. Tremendo reloj. This watch, when it was first released, the retail price, the MSRP was $21,900. I repeat, $21,000. Saludos, Doc Mick out of Florida. It was $21,900. And with all the situation, as you know, H. Muser's getting involved in Formula One, you know, sponsoring one of the race cars and all that, and helmets and all that good stuff. You know, they're getting up, and now that price from $21,900, it went up to $27,000. $600. Honestly, I'm telling you, I think H. Moser, I mean, I could be wrong. It could be a big bust, like the quarterback we had here. Tua. We had a Tua quarterback here was always winning and watches wonders. Yeah. It only takes somebody to put that watch in a pedestal. So you understand me, and I make jokes about him. It has to be somebody that there's a real big overweight gentleman. I think he's from India. And he rocks the AP with the emerald bezel, and he just has Richard Mills that costs $70 million. The guy is real heavy. You know what I'm trying to say? The billionaire from India. That guy. It takes somebody like that to, I got an H Musa streamliner, with a matrix green dial. You know what I'm trying to say? Oh. The beginning for two. Or maybe the guy from over there, from look at the most pioneer collection. It's fantastic. There you go. Absolutely, Christopher. And people don't want, yeah, we got to send them back to Alabama, with Nick, whatever you call him, whatever that coach's name was. But, listen to what Christopher's saying, that, it just takes one little step, like the guy, the Iron Sheik Tunic Man, Nick Saban, correct. The Iron Sheik Tunic Man, to push that watch is going to go over the hump. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you about this watch, and it's the truth, but I have to say the truth. I do love the watch, but for some reason, the numbers are not standing there, so don't pay for that watch more. With the matrix green dial, don't pay for more than $16,500, all right? You guys do whatever you want. I'm gonna give you another watch. This is my last watch market update of the day, and it's something that you guys should all look at it. Particular, some of you that like this watch brand and model. This is the Patek Philippe Nautilus. This is the 5811 with a blue dial. One of the most nice. I think this blue dial is even nicer than the 5711 stainless steel. This blue dial is very, very nice. A little stronger. It hits you, it's the 5811. 5811. I laughed so much today with you guys. Thank you for making me laugh so much. Yes, it is Watch Addict. It is the 5811 white gold. It's a beautiful watch. I forgot if this is, I think it's a 41 millimeter. And I seen the watch in person and I felt it. And you can feel that the changes that because I have always said that, with all the respect I'm saying that, and I can say because I have 5711, but to me Patek Philippe watches on the Nautilus side, to me they look like sardine can watches. They're just very. And then this 5811, they did it with more powerful, you know what I'm saying. So this 5811 is very beautiful. But ladies and gentlemen, they took this watch, when it was at, I think the retail price of that watch, it was somewhere in 67. Then it went to 75. Yes, 5811 is class. Correct, it is. I'm telling you, see that? Somebody's helping me out what I'm saying. Like if you look at my 5711 and you see the bracelet, you see the casing, and you even, move it around, and then you take the 5811 and you move it around, se siente como un aparato. It feels like a stealth, that like a Raptor F-22, Jingle Jangle. That's the 5711 is the Jingle Jangle. But the 5811, it sounds, it's more, I'm not frogging around. I'm for real, That's what the 5811 says. And they had this watch, ladies and gentlemen. They had it for 115, 120, 125, 130, 137. And ladies and gentlemen, this watch right now in the Christmas holidays, does anybody know what price it was? This is the last watch market update. The watch market update, the last one. Anybody know? They have taken this watch, these flim-flammers, these spoof balls, these hucksters and hoodwinks, And they have taken it. Coño, bravo. Bravo, Christopher. Bravo, Christopher. Bravissimo, Christopher. Bravo, bravo, bravo. They have taken that watch all the way up. All the way up. They're not like us. They're not like us. Give it away, give it away, give it away like the red hot chili peppers, papi. Like the red hot chili peppers. Giving it away. Give your money away. It went all the way up to $167,000, papi. The last 4 months. Look at that. Thank you, Christopher, for helping me out. Gracias, Christopher. Thank you for helping me out. $30,000 in the last 4 months, papi. The last 4 months. But I'm going to tell you my price. They have their price, which is a real big gang, you know? It's a big gang. And they're all together, and it's just me and you. I said it wrong. It's just Sweet Kikino and me and you. The triangle. The triangle. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want. And I would not pay what I'm going to tell you. I wouldn't pay, but I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that watch. And I mean, don't pay for that watch. He's coaching a client, coaching him with this. He's going to wax his sinuses. He's going to wax his sinuses because that's what he likes. Nothing wrong with that. If that's your preference in life, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's what he likes, you know, and I'm not kidding. Don't pay for that watch. Christopher, what price am I going to say? Mr. Blair, what price am I going to say? And I wouldn't pay it either. This is it, the last one. Nobody has an idea? No clue. Okay, that's good, Mr. Blair. You're being honest. No clue. Nobody knows. Don't pay for that watch, and I wouldn't pay for it either. Don't pay for that watch. No. Don't pay for that watch. Okay, don't pay for that watch. Here it goes, Christopher. Don't pay for that watch more than $142,000. You do whatever you want. It's your money. January will be here next week. La situación se jodió. Guys, I want to tell all of you, thank you so much for being with me here on this live stream. You don't know what this means a whole lot to me. You know, when I do this, you know, I get happy. You guys make me happy by being here. You know, by you guys being here, you're supporting the channel. And as you know, this is an organic 100% channel. There's no subs that I buy here. There's no comments that I buy here. There's no views and there's no likes. What you see is what you get. I want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart. Again, thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. We also have a private watch group under my name, Juan Felipe Nieves, is in Facebook. If you guys want to try to get into the channel, maybe Samantha and Sweet Kikino let you in. Thank you very much for you. Thank you. And a big drop is coming. Yeah, yes, it is. Yes, it is. You guys are great. Hey, hopefully we'll talk before the 31st again. Right, guys? Stay cool. Don't change on me. Stay right always. Be careful out there. Ciao, guys. Thank you for everything again, guys. Thank you for everything. Be safe.